You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. So I'm going to give my thoughts on this entire Ashlee Jenea situation. A lot of people putting out a lot of stuff online. I've heard it all surrounding this situation. And I'm going to start off by saying, well, first of all, make sure you guys, I'm going to put a link down there in the description box and in the comments. And in that link, a lot of you guys have not been getting notifications on my channel. You click that link, you will get all the notifications. So make sure y'all do that. It's a link that's in there. And we have a Telegram channel for Ticket TV. So make sure y'all tap in. Once you click that link, you'll be right there in our channel and you won't miss any updates. A lot of you guys not getting notifications. I understand that. A lot of people been telling me. I know I've been putting out a lot of content, so that y'all don't miss it. Make sure y'all click that link and subscribe to our Telegram channel. It's free. I'll pin it at the top of the comment section as well. Look, here's my thoughts. First of all, I think it's unfair to judge her or him at this stage right now. They're halfway, or they're all the way across the world, and none of us are over there. Now, people that are over there, we don't know those people. We don't know the credibility of those people, right? We only hear what we hear online, and people will, we live in a very judgmental world, so people are gonna, make their guesstimations regardless of the situation. People are gonna guess, based off of based off of their perspective, their what they see online. People will judge you off of that because that's what they feel like they have to go off of. She was a very flashy person online. She liked finer and nice things. She posted it. A lot of ladies like that. Some ladies aren't as flashy as posting. There was a post everybody was talking about where she said they alleged she said something about having issues with black men. Listen, I mean, to each his own. I don't judge a person by who they date. You date whoever makes you happy in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person to sit up here and tell you, hey man, don't date this person, date that person, don't date that person. I think that whole conversation is, for you personally, you know what I mean? Of what race you want to date or how you move on that standpoint. Some people are very, very, very serious and very, very, very pro-black on that situation, on that topic. And some people just it don't really bother them. Like I'm just one of them people like, I love black folks. I love black women, but it don't bother me who somebody date. If somebody else make you happy like that, as far as, if, they're a different race, hey man, do you. I'm not gonna sit up here and call you all kind of names and, disparage you because of who you want to date. You know what I mean? I don't think that's right. I think that God created us all equal, regardless of the color of the skin. You know what I mean? Even though we understand that there has been racism and things like that in our world for such a long time. But at the end of the day, I am of the belief that God created us equal. And I believe that, listen, you date who makes you happy in life. Simple as that, Now, is everybody perfect? No, everybody has things in their life you can point out, or you can say, oh man, this, that, or the third, or this person, that, this person, that, this person, that. It's just a lot of stuff being thrown out. I've seen people, throw allegations at this woman about her lifestyle. Listen, you would have to only personally know a person. That would be the first question I would ask a person. Like, do you personally know this woman? And if they tell you no, well, then I don't want to hear anything from you, really, on her personal life. If you don't personally know a person, how can you speak on a person's personal life and who they are as a person if you don't personally know them, right? You have to personally know a person to understand who they really are. You feel me? I always believe that, like on a day-to-day basis. Am I with you? Do I see how you move? Some people, you get a different perspective by just seeing them a couple of times versus being with them on a day-to-day basis. This happens in relationships. You know, when you first meet a person, you might think, hey, man, I love this person. I want to be with this person. Everything's going to be great. And then when y'all get closer and you together on a day-to-day basis, you're like, oh, hell no, I don't like this person. You know, everything switches up. So I believe that it's a lot of dynamics with this situation. Nobody knows what happened. I'm seeing people like definitively say they know what happened. Like, that's not right. What if it comes out that this guy had nothing to do with this girl losing her life? Then all the people that have slandered him, what they gonna say? I'm just saying. What about all the people that have disparaged this girl and said evil things about this girl, right? Listen, when somebody is gone from this earth, I never believe or been the one to believe that you step on a person or that you kick a person when they're down and stuff like that. You know, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? They checked out. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't get down on that. I don't respect that because I already know that there's certain thing that's in the air that's called karma, and it will come back to you. You know what I'm saying? The energy you put out, it will come back, right? You reap what you sow in life. That is so true of a statement. Now, again, a lot of us, we just don't know what happened to this young lady. It's a very sad, devastating travesty of a story. You know, I'm saddened to see a sister go out like that, you know, and lose her life that young, 31 years old, I believe. You know, it hurts me. It bothers me. I don't like seeing that. I don't want to ever see that. And when you do see it, it has a harsh effect on you because you're seeing people die at a young age, you know. Sometimes I feel like we live in such a harsh world and such a judgmental world that people just want to jump out and be ready to say something negative about you before they even understand the full dynamics of the situation. Something else can come out completely about this situation and then blow everybody's socks off. And then what have a lot of people done? They've slandered a guy that they don't even know in this situation. Now, you know, listen, I just say in this situation like this, let the police do their investigation. You know, the internet's always going to be trying to do their investigation. And sometimes the internet finds out certain things and can, you know, solve certain cases and stuff better than the police. But this is a situation where they're halfway across the world. So you're going off second, third hand information. If somebody wasn't there, you're not getting that direct information. If somebody wasn't there, you're just not getting it. You know what I mean? So if somebody wasn't there and you're not getting the direct information from them, why would you want that information? You know, why would you accept that information? But that's how it is. I mean, sometimes people got to get their viewership up and things like that. So I understand it. Me personally, in this type of situation, you know, all the way across the world, something happens. We don't know the dynamics. We don't know how they felt about each other. Only they know, you know, or the people who was immediately there might know. But you know, the police going to check the messages. You know, family members are probably going to check messages, call phone companies, check messages, see different things, try to put timeline together. I don't know if they have the money to send a private investigator out there. I would do that. You know, I wish the parents would have went out there immediately if they needed that bread. I heard they had a GoFundMe. I wish they would have. I don't know how soon they did that, but I wish that, you know, if they didn't have that money, I wish they could have got out there ASAP. That way they would have been out there, you know, and then you would feel more comfortable about all the information that's coming out because, you know, the parents are out there to be able to look at things and ask questions themselves, you know. Hopefully, you know, they can get a PI out there and really dig into that situation and find out exactly what, you know, they can about their daughter, man. It's a devastating situation. Beautiful black woman, you know. I don't know her, won't talk down on her. It's not a situation where, you know, I'm looking at people looking at this as a victory and this, that, and that. I don't look at it like that. You look at a black woman dying as a victory, that's not cool. People want to be so harsh. People so gutless. People so heartless, right? But then they don't, if they're in that position, they're in any position. People act like they perfect in this world, man. Where they so heartless against a girl like this who tragically lost her life, right? Who ain't never coming back again. Nah, man, that's just not in me. I'm not cut like that to do that. You know, that situation right there. Nah, man, I don't want to see our sisters or nobody, that lost their life in that type of way be done like that. You know, so I hope they'll get it together and figure out exactly what happened. If dude is responsible, I hope that he pays. If he's not, then I hope that people will give him the peace in his life. I just don't like all the judgmental stuff off the top when none of us are there. That's why I haven't really tried to be judgmental about this situation on either side. I don't even want to judge a book by its cover. Sometimes when men see women flashing stuff like that, you know what they call these type of women. I've been seeing people call this girl these types of names, and I would question and ask them, well, do you know her? That would be a question that I would have for these people. To say a name about a person like that, in my opinion, would have to surmise that you personally know this person to say something like that about them or to call them that. So, yeah, I got an issue with that too. So, there's just a few things, man. I just wish that, we had a better, just sense of decency about situations like this when people pass away and lose their life. Something you can't never come back from, man. And, only God can judge and only he will judge. We can give our opinions, you know what I'm saying? But only God can judge each and every one of us. So at the end of the day, my prayers are for her family, loved ones, condolences. I'm not the type of dude that's going to come on here and bang on a chick and be like, yeah, that's what you get. This and that. No, that's not how I roll, man. You always supposed to have some level of decency, dignity, honor, and class, moral standards, and ethics. You know what I mean? In this world, because if you grow up, have a daughter, and God forbid something happened with your daughter, you wouldn't want people ranking on your daughter like that regardless. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong. And you would stand up for your daughter right or wrong. Period.
Hey guys, Ticket really hopes you enjoyed the content. There will be a link in the description box and pinned at the top of the chat room where you can go to the Ticket TV merch shop and purchase the exclusive merchandise for men and women. Thanks for your support, and he appreciates all sales.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.